Hello everybody, my name is Beck. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. So it is currently 7:41 a.m. on the 2nd of April. It is a Saturday 2022. So we have a half drank cup of coffee with cats on it, and I was snacking on some brownie M&Ms. They're not that great. They kind of taste like stale M&Ms. I guess if you like the texture of like brownies and then a layer of crispy M&Ms, it's just weird. It's a weird combination. I would much rather eat a brownie and an M&M like separately rather than together. But maybe you'll like it. I bought it because it was half off. But I also have like several other things that I want to do. I don't know if this is going to be a reading vlog, whatever this is, but I just filmed a monthly favorites video on my gaming channel, which I do every single month. I have a lot to say, but when it comes to like finally sitting down and staying up, putting on a full face of makeup, my mind is like a complete mess and I don't know what I want to say or what I want to do exactly. Like, I have so many ideas. I have several orders coming in and I managed to get 3 of the books that I ordered off Amazon. I have 2 coming in a Target. I have come to realize that I'll never become a morning person, because who in their right mind snacks on M&Ms at like 7 something a.m. in the morning? That's not true. I've actually been snacking on M&Ms since like 1 a.m. I woke up at around like 1:30 or something like that. And I remember buying this when I was outside yesterday, and I was just like doing Amazon returns because they sent me a bent copy of Twisted Love by Anna Huang. I took a picture of it just in case they wanted evidence and I needed to send it back to Amazon. And I was wondering, like, how did you manage to fold it? In the greater scheme of things, it really doesn't matter. I wouldn't say like completely pristine book, but for $23, I would hope that it's not bent right. And then I got my replacement copy, which is this one, and look at it. It's curved. I have used my laptop and my other hardback copy to like try to flatten it out, but so far it's still curved. But I think this is like an easy solution and it's like not the worst possible thing. And if it really truly bothers me, okay, it's kind of more flat now. Before, like yesterday, it was more curved than this, as I lie to myself. I will be doing a whole video of the books that I've recently picked up. So much for being like a solely Kindle reader. I'm still reading this one. I bought the audiobook to kind of speed things up. Am I capable of reading a book without the audiobook? Absolutely. But considering it was only like $3.50, I bought the audiobook because I have been like on 20% for the longest time with things we never got over. So I just decided to like buy the audiobook. I also picked up another audiobook, but you know what, I'll mention it in the haul. There's like several things coming in and I just wanted like to hold the whole thing in one big video instead of like chopping it into like little pieces. But anyway, back to Twisted Love. I could read it off Kindle Unlimited, but I want to believe in all my book talk, booktube YouTubers that I watch. I want to believe, so that's why I picked it up. I don't know. Fun fact about me, I am Chinese, so representation, Ava Chen. I know her nickname in this book is Sunshine by Alex. That's what Alex calls her. I am never gonna be a morning person. I'm kind of dying on the inside. Can I string a proper sentence? We will see. 7:53 a.m. and my neighbors just like banged on the window, so I hope I'm not too loud. Anyway, I picked up Terms and Conditions because I read the first book on my Kindle Unlimited. Sadly, this one is not on Kindle Unlimited anymore, at least if you're from Australia and other like I think British colonies or whatever it is. I remember Lauren sent out a mass email saying that her books has to be taken out of the Australian Kindle stores due to like whatever like licensing reasons. I don't remember, but I did read the first book, the fine print, on the Kindle Unlimited when it was out. I'm so glad that I picked up a Kindle at that time and I got to read it, but it really doesn't matter. I also saw that she released like a special edition of the fine print and I loved the cover. Picked it up just last week and she announced it today, just like a couple of days later, that there was going to be a special edition, and I'm like kicking myself. But I like to lie and think that well, since I already picked up this copy, it would not look good on the shelf. I don't even have a shelf. Look at this. I have Nintendo Switch games on the shelf, and I don't really care. Completely off a tangent. I don't know what this is gonna be, but here we are. I'm gonna be completely honest here. Please don't hate me for it, but it is my personal opinion. Feel free to disagree. The Fine Print wasn't my favorite book of all time. I did enjoy it for what it was. It was a 4-star read for me. I would say a high 3-star and a mid 4-star kind of thing. There were some parts where I was it was not my cup of tea, but overall I did enjoy it, and that's why I wanted to see this one and the final book. I am interested to see where this goes with the brothers. It's been a little bit since I read the Fine Print, so I don't remember the brothers. I had no idea that the book would be so pretty because I did read the Kindle version. So a lot of the times, a lot of these things aren't there. I don't know if the Spotify playlist was part of the first book because I don't remember seeing it on the Kindle Unlimited store. The ebook was 13 Australian dollars, and the physical book that I picked this one up was 18 something. And in my head, I kind of justify it by saying, if I have to pay for this book, I might as well just get the physical copy. And since this is the second book, I might as well just buy the first one. And it's only $14 from Target Australia if you're interested. If you're Australian, you're probably surprised to even know that this book, or the first book, is even available physically to purchase, and especially from Target. If you don't know, in Australia, Target is not doing so hot. There's actually a lot more American books at Target, surprisingly. I try my best not to support Amazon, but sometimes it's just easiest. But then when I saw it at Target online, I went a bit crazy. So if you want to see that haul, I'll post it. This is not very ladylike of me, but this is comfortable. I'm sitting on the floor filming this. Spoiler, you already know what I got from Amazon. I did pick up 2 more books from Amazon. One I have right there. You'll just have to watch the whole video to see what I picked up. They were all TikTok influencers. I don't know if I want to start on Twisted Love and go on a tangent with the series. I don't know if I want to read Terms and Conditions. Here's the tea. My dilemma about reading Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher is I would want the third book to be present right now so I can just grab it and read it at any given time. That's why usually I don't start a series until it's completed or very close to being in completion. I don't think I'm capable of reading that fast though. I'm in the dilemma of what I want to read because I also have a bunch of audiobooks and I have a lot more physical TBR selection. Let me give you a little brief look. Okay, this is not the best. As you can tell, I'm a gamer. I spent a lot of money. So these are my physical TBRs. I have some more at the back, which is more of suspense and thrillers at the back. But the romance ones, they're pretty, so I display them. Ooh, I got a job interview. Might be switching careers soon. Yeah, here's my physical TBR. I have read some of them. I haven't. So I have the Inheritance game, right? I do want to start reading this, but I won't start until the third one comes out in September, I think. So yeah. Does this video even have a theme? Probably not. As a fun fact, one of my AirPods dropped in my cup of coffee yesterday. One of them, not both of them. If both of them dropped, I would be crying, screaming, and throwing up. But anyway, the left one dropped in the coffee. I had to rinse it with water. At least it still worked. Or else I'll be devastated right now. So yeah, this is why I have so many jump cuts in my videos, because I go off a tangent and I don't string a single thought from start to finish. When it comes to work and school, I'm hyper focused, but when it comes to things like this, I don't know. I just I have so many things to say. I just bought some pillows and furniture related stuff so I can read more comfortably. I have never been so thankful for my local library for having so much resources, because here's the thing, my library is actually pretty tiny and I live about 20 minutes away from it, but since it's so tiny, they also collab with is a collab. Okay, my area has a conjunction of 6 libraries in total into one small area, so I have access to not only my local library but the areas surrounding it. So my selection is slightly larger, so the database is a bit better. But the only con about this whole situation is I do have a Kindle Paperwhite, and in America you could borrow a book and it gets sent to your Kindle, but in Australia you have to read it off your phone or your other devices. They don't do the whole Kindle thing, it's not compatible. So I did borrow Beach Read by Emily Henry and I read it off my phone, and honestly that really hurt my eyes because I also have really terrible eyesight. I wear glasses, and reading off a phone late at night is not a mood. I am just so glad that I don't have to buy it and I get to read it, because I think Beach Read was okay. It wasn't as hyped up as I thought it would be. I buy the physical book for People We Meet on Vacation. I think that's the American title, because I am from Australia, like I mentioned like so many times, so we do have like the European or Australian / New Zealand cover, which is You and Me on Vacation. I prefer that cover over the American one, which is the orange one. It's the same thing but just different cover with slightly different in title names. I did buy that one. The booktubers and the book talk people that I follow tend to gravitate towards the People We Meet on Vacation or You and Me on Vacation a lot more than Beach Read, but I still wanted to read Beach Read, and I was like on the fence of whether or not I'm buying it. I'm trying to save money, and most importantly I don't have room, as you can tell, and I just bought a TBR card. I don't want to use it as an excuse to fill it up. So yeah, I managed to finish Beach Read. Here's a bad thing about me: I don't remember the characters' names unless I really like the book, and I've already forgotten the characters' names. Oh wait, no. I remember. January is the female protag, and August is the male. Okay, I did borrow it on the 29th of March. This is not my monthly TBR. So yeah, I did finish Beach Read, and it was not a 5-star read for me. I would say it's a 3.5. Yeah, it'll be a 3.5 read to me. I'm hoping that People We Meet on Vacation would be a better experience for me. Backtrack to the previous thing that I was saying about my local library being connected to like 6 other libraries. Turns out that my local library carries a lot of Tessa Bailey books, and it comes in audiobook form. Usually my local library only has like ebooks or the physical book itself, and I was so surprised to see like audiobooks by Tessa Bailey. Like most of her catalog is like available for me to borrow, and I was like so excited. I did buy Hook, Line and no, not Hook, Line and Sinker. Hook, Line, Sinker is the sequel. I got the first book. I completely forgot what the title is, but it has like a fisherman and a girl in a red dress with the blue cover. That one I did buy it. It was like $4 for the Kindle. I know a lot of people said that they didn't like that book, but since it was cheap I was like, you might as well. But at that point I did not know that my library had like an ebook catalog for everything. I wish I had borrowed it, but $4 is okay. Like it's fine. Like I'm gonna read it one of these days, and I'm pretty sure they have the audiobook for it, so I'll read it in conjunction with the audiobook one of these days. I don't know if I'm gonna buy a Hook, Line and Sinker, but it's available at my library, so I'm just gonna borrow it depending on where it goes. Completely besides the point. I did borrow Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey audiobook from my local library. Super happy about it, because I am glad that I didn't buy it because I did not like the book. I am so sorry to say, if it's like one of your faves, don't be offended by it. I am a strange person. So after reading it or listening to the audiobook, I come to the conclusion that I really did not like the male protagonist Trey in Fix Her Up, and I, for the first time ever, like a lot of times I really side with the female protagonist, but in this scenario, in this case, I really did not. Like, I could understand the motivations between the two characters, don't get me wrong, I understand the struggles. Georgie or Georgetta and Trey was not a vibe for me. It was not my type of story and my cup of tea, but I still rated at 3 stars on Goodread. I got where the story was going, where it was leading. I don't want to be overly critical because I'm not capable of writing a story that's for sure, but it was just like the premises of the story that I just did not like and I did not vibe with well. I'm kind of scared to say because I know a lot of people really did like that book, but it was just not for me. But you know, like a truly sane person, I decided that I want to read the entire series, so I did pick up the second book from my local library, and it's the ebook, so I have to read it off my phone again. It's on the Libby app, so that's gonna be fun. I could download it and read it off my laptop. I don't know if that would be better for me because it will be a bigger screen, but then again, the lights will like hurt my eyes. This is such a first world problem. I did download the second book, but I haven't started it yet, so I always have that to think about. I have 20 days to return it, so I should read it today. And the third book, actually I'm on the list for the third book, but I'm first in line waiting for it. I do have that one and I borrowed it. I should read it so I can return the book, so in case anybody else wants to read the second book, they can. I don't like knowing that I'm like holding up someone's spot when they could be reading itself, so I think I should read it. I actually am more interested in the second story of the series because I would like to see how the marriage, because the second book is about a couple whose marriage is on the brink of ending due to circumstances. Not entirely too sure what's going on between a couple. It's POC, so I'm hoping like that would be more relatable to me. I don't know if that's like one of the reasons why I did not relate to the first one, because it's about a former professional baseball player that had to retire due to like an injury. A brother's best friend trope that I don't particularly like. I went into this series completely blind. I just saw Tessa Bailey and she's been like recommended by a lot of like TikTok people and booktubers, so I just like didn't do any prior research to picking the book up. I just saw it, I knew it was popular, so I started like listening / reading it. And the two other reserves I have is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. It's like another popular book series, e-audiobook, and I won't have it until the 16th of April. And the other ebook that I'm waiting on is Wait For It by Jen McKinley. I'll have it on the 8th of April, but I won't have time to read it on the 8th because I actually have like a bunch of meetings on that day, which I'm not looking forward to. Yeah, I started like borrowing stuff from my local library, so I do have like that ebook that I have to think about, and I have like 2 audiobooks that I borrowed off Hoopla. I picked up The Hardest Fall by Ella Mays. I've read her Marriage for One book before. It was like recommended to me by a lot of like the booktubers that I listen to and watch. It wasn't a 5-star read for me, but I did remember enjoying it because it was like a bit different compared to the Marriage for Convenience that I've been reading. 18 Days to Finish The Hardest Fall by Ella Mays and Teach Me by Olivia Dade. And the reason why I picked up Teach Me by Olivia Dade is because the second book, which is 40 Love, has been recommended by Brie in Love and Words here on YouTube, and I trust her opinion and I want to give it a go and read it, but I want to read it in order. So the first book was Teach Me. The thing about Hoopla and borrowing books from Hoopla is you can only borrow up to 5 per month. I only realized that, so on the very last day I borrowed those 2. When the month restarts, which is now in April, I could like borrow 5 more. So I have those 2 reserves from the previous month, so I have 7 in total. I haven't borrowed anything this month yet because I haven't even started on the previous 2, and my Kindle Unlimited is going to end this month. So between like Kindle Unlimited ending, my durations of my library books ending on my phone, and the physical TBR that I have, like I have options. Some a bit more time sensitive than others. I should read more of my Kindle Unlimited stuff because it's going to end and I don't think I'm going to renew it. What to freaking do? I'm just going to stick with my library books for now. I'm going to read the second series of the Tessa Bailey books, and then I'm just going to go through my library ones, and then I'll deal with my physical TBR later because it will always be there, and then I will do my whole videos once everything comes in. So see you guys in a bit. I don't know if this is how I'm gonna end the video, but that is the game plan for today. So I didn't end up reading anything that day, but the next day I did start to read Credence by Penelope Douglas, and I was waiting for my physio appointment and I was reading Credence in public, but it was the first couple of chapters, which, you know, nothing really happens until like later on, but that's what I ended up doing. LOL.